Okay. Do you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great.
Can you put it somehow on full screen if it's possible?
Yeah. Is it full screen now?
No, it's not full screen.
Okay, Manjao. Let's see. Okay, got it. And then show my screen, and then we go. Let's see this. No, okay, Manjao. I'm gonna try this. Okay. Is full screen now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great.
Super.
So my name is Högna, and I'm a textile designer. Just a bit about me. Like, I have a bachelor in textile design, and I specialized in knit and biomaterials, and I have a background in fashion design, history, and literature, and kind of bringing all these themes into my work. I'm just going to be showing like some photos and talking a little bit like about my way of working. So I am like a textile designer, but I do a lot of fashion and kind of looking into textile based fashion and kind of highlighting the importance of craft in the work, and kind of looking at how to just like kind of emphasize the material within the work, and I use a lot of natural materials, and kind of looking at like how to focus on the craft, like using the same motifs in different ways and different techniques, and kind of trying everything just to like see what's the best expression of each material. And I've also kind of been looking into maybe more unconventional materials. I've started using hair within my work. This is kind of a hand-woven piece of wool and human hair. And kind of also looking into like within this project, I was looking into kind of how to emulate also like creating like these textures of a material and how to blend everything together, like using wool and cotton to kind of emulate the texture of hair. And it's kind of this kind of theme of like finding a material that kind of maybe calls to you, and then letting that material lead you. Like, and also here, like looking at these craft based practices, like creating looms and seeing like how to bring this focus of craft into fashion, and kind of highlighting the work that goes into these practices, kind of showing how everything works. And this is kind of here, it goes into like here I've started working with Katrin, and this is using seaweed. So here I was kind of
just to interrupt you, can you please tell people who is Katrin?
Yes, Katrin is an Icelandic designer and an artist, and I'll show some of her work later on. And she has been working with seaweed as material for almost 40 years now. And I've known her all my life. So now, like when I started getting into design, I was very excited to work with her and use this material in different ways. So yes, so she's an Icelandic artist who's kind of created this way of working with seaweed, so it has the potential to be applied in like as a as a material, such as like maybe equivalent to leather in a way, and then I was kind of looking at how to apply this material within knit. So I created different ways of using this material where I've like spun it together and kind of used it in different ways within knitting. And I'll show some of Katrin's work in a second. So this is kind of like, once I started working with Katrin, it's kind of, she has this philosophy of really, it's really like that you are really going all in to this material and this process. So this is like when I was harvesting seaweed, which is what Katrin does all the time, and kind of just looking at like this kind of different ways of looking at a material and figuring out how to use it and how it applies to you. So this is kind of just showing some of the process behind my own work of figuring out how to use this material. And here, this is Katrin, and this is Katrin Thorvaldsdóttir, and she has Emblamar Studio, and I've put in here both her website and Instagram if you're curious about looking more at her work. And Adriana, I'll send you this presentation.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. So Katrin she's educated as a puppeteer, and she actually studied in Spain, and she's worked in various theaters worldwide and using different sorts of materials and a lot of like recycled materials. And then when she moved back to Iceland almost 40 years ago now, then she started working with the seaweed and kind of looking at how it can be applied. It started like being applied in the puppetry, and then she's kind of developed it even further and kind of patented this method of curing the seaweed so that it is able, you can work with it in different ways. So here it's also kind of using different materials from the sea, and it's kind of this thing of like no seaweed is the same. And here it's like these masks, which Katrin makes a lot of, and she kind of brings forth this kind of, you can still see the life in the seaweed, and every mask becomes very unique and individual, and each one has its own character, which is kind of assisted by the use of this material, which is very, very unique and creates a very unique expression. And with Katrin, it's always a focus on the craft, and her way of explaining it is saying you can't just take this material and just design something. You have to know the material, and you have to listen to the material, and it takes time. And within this kind of process, because it takes so much time, you always go deeper and deeper and just really like delve into this material. And I think that kind of applies to it applies to kind of everything within design. And I think it's important that we remember, in a world where fast fashion is really kind of taking over, that it is important to just take your time, and it will kind of come at the right time, and you'll figure it out, and you will have like your own way of working with the material that you choose and within your work. So these are like a lot of these masks that Katrin makes, and you can kind of see like the material is very, like no two masks are the same, even if it's the same kind of mold that's being used. And then Katrin has also done a lot of kind of collaborations with both different artists and different students, where she's kind of provided material and kind of to see how other people work with the seaweed. So these photos that I'm about to show you are these different projects made by different students around the world, using this material that Katrin provides. And you can kind of see like also how each person who's working with it has a very unique way of working with it, which kind of comes with, I think it's inherently kind of part of using this material. And also showing like it can be used in different ways, like it can be used in sewing and it can be used in knitting and within clothing. And then she also did this collaboration with different artists that create bags, and it's kind of like where it's also like all of these things wouldn't be possible if you didn't take time to kind of focus on the craft aspect of the work. I think this was it for now. So I think yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, just to say that
Yeah.
I had the pleasure to visit Catherine. Actually, this is how we get now in touch, because
Yeah.
I visited in her workshop in Reykjavik, and I've seen these wonderful garments, dresses, and most of all, I saw her, if I can call it, library of, I don't know, or treasure, I don't know, of seaweeds that they are, from tiny filaments until, big pieces. I don't know how can I explain, but it was really impressive. And I've seen also the masks, and she told me that these masks, as you said, I mean, they cannot be identical one with each other, but even more, they transform their shapes during the time. And with the time. So you had a certain face today, and in 2 years, that face, it's different. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
like a living creature. It's like a little spirit. Yeah, and this is going very well with, of course, with the beliefs of Iceland. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The spirits that populates the.
I think it's kind of the material is still alive almost within the work, and I've found that myself also, like working with material. It's really like you really have to kind of work with, you have to meet the material kind of in the middle, because you can't kind of control how it works. So I think it becomes a very interesting way of working with something, where it's something with, because I think like often when you're working maybe like in fashion, and you do have a certain amount of control over like your material.
It's another
So I
philosophy,
think
another way of seeing the things, and another way of designing as well, because you cannot do something fixed, because that thing that you want to wear it in 2 years maybe would not be wearable in 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's a very interesting way of looking at this, and I think it's important to kind of, in like this, I think within like especially like the world of fashion, where it's like this constant search for like new, both like sustainable practices and sustainable material. I think this is something that's very, very interesting to look at, and how we can kind of design something that is both very like, it's a very like precious way of looking at it, but it's also like that it's gonna live with you as you go on, and where it's kind of like, and it's also like it can't be mass produced and stuff like that. So I think that's very I think it's an important kind of factor to bring in into design.
Yeah. And what about you?
No, I think you froze for a little bit. Sorry.
So just yeah, was hair.
Yeah. I've kind of been looking at how to like maybe use materials that we don't think about in such a good way, maybe. It's more like that. It's like material that's maybe quite like unconventional. And how to kind of bring that into like how to make it into something that we enjoy both like visually and being able to wear something like this. Yeah.
Okay, Julia, do you have any question?
Yeah, no,
Okay, can you just come here because like that, I mean, you can also see her. So Julia is one of the finalists.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Högna. Nice to meet you, Amelia. I am from Poland. I've been living in Berlin for a while.
Yep.
Now I'm moving back to Poland. It's very interesting work that you're doing. And the hair,
Thank you.
how do you think, where do you get it from?
I've been using both like just like hair extensions from like braiding shops, and I'm also like very interested like if I continue with this to kind of look into also kind of just going to like hair salons and like seeing how to kind of get like the waist and how to be able to look maybe into that to kind of like figure out a way like how to use it like genuinely in a very
Yeah.
sustainable way.
Yes, and I think they're always like that. Maybe not always, but I used to do like African braids when I was here. So I was always working with those like hair extensions. And there's always some waste as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, because I've also been looking into because I also have like I've like when I'm working with this like, and it's the same with like working with hair or wool or seaweed or anything, like I always like collect all the waste just kind of like to figure out maybe one day you'll figure out a way how to use it. And like with the hair, it's able to be like spun, like the waste is able to be spun into yarn, so it could be something to like develop.
And I know one girl like that she's having like, I mean, I don't recall the name of the startup, but she's doing basically like bio degradable hair extensions.
That's really exciting.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah. Nice.
And so you're based in Iceland, right?
Yes, I'm based in Iceland.
Never been. Would love to come.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to come to you once more, that's for sure.
Yes.
Not this year, because this year we are busy until the end of the year, but you are going to come to Barcelona. So Julia, yes, is going to come in Barcelona.
Yes.
31st, yes, so I invited her.
Yeah.
And Catherine also will come. And probably she will bring also some of her masks.
Yeah.
And some material just to have the touch.
Yeah.
And you have now also you're going to bring probably something. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's possible even to bring a whole outfit, something that we can, let's say, use it and wear it on the catwalk. You understand?
Yeah, definitely.
That can be transported in your wallet. Yeah.
Yes.
It will be very nice, just to have,
Yeah, definitely. And like Katrin and I would love to share how this works.
Have a corner where you can expose some samples, of course, but it would be nice, to have.
Yeah, and I have never seen, actually like suet used in the in crocheting. Like I've always taken the projects with like a big, pieces of it.
Yeah.
And just very interesting, like the yarn and also like the sequence, because I think it's kind of more maybe not like practical, but kind of more everyday way of wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's very it's like it's also like figuring out a way exactly like how to like put it into something that's maybe a little bit more exactly. Yeah, but I'm very excited to see kind of all the designs that are being made and everything.
very, very nice here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we cannot show you everything for 2 reasons. We have quite limited possibilities to let's say, to project. And the second reason is that people is really working. So that's why I cannot also introduce the participants. One is very in the back of the. It's really
say hi.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Just say hi. Yeah. Hi. You can say
You
hi.
can manage.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Me too. I had really one fast question because
Yes.
I'm really interested in fashion education because I'm right now in Austria. I'm like in a high school-ish, and I'm really interested. What did you attend uni, and which uni did you attend?
I started out in fashion design in Paris. It's a school called Lisa Mode. It's LISAA. And then I like just stopped and I went to school in Sweden. It's called the Swedish School of Textiles. They also have a fashion program. And then I'm actually continuing my education now, like in fashion, at the university, like the Arts University of Iceland.
That's so cool.
So I think, yeah, there's a lot of different options, and I think a lot of the times it's also like what you make of the education. It's kind of like if you find like the right place for you, I think you can kind of get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Excited to meet you in person.
Yeah, likewise.
And meanwhile, we will be in touch and we'll give you access to all our information.
Yes, great. And I'll send you the presentation and everything. So
Yes, thank you very much. And
Yes.
all our kisses and hugs and greetings to Catherine. We love her very
Yes.
much. And we just can't wait to see you in October.
Yeah. Likewise, I'm very excited. But
Thank
good
you.
luck then with the rest of everything.
Good night, summer. Bye.
Yeah, likewise. Bye. Bye.